Hi, I'm Chris, welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Thank you for joining me. I like a bit of attitude. Some of my favourite fragrances contain a healthy dose of attitude. So I'm going to recommend to you 6 of my favourite fragrances that are packed full of attitude. Just to make this clear at the beginning of the video, when I say attitude, I mean just a bit of a badass kind of attitude. You know, we're talking people like Tom Hardy, Timothy Chalamet, those kind of dudes. And I like a bit of that in my fragrances. I like a bit of backbone, a bit of structure, a bit of that edgy attitude. So I've picked out a few here that I think contain that. These are stunning fragrances. And you will see with these fragrances that not only do they smell like they're packed full of attitude, the names suggest so too. A word that is often associated with attitude is black. And you will see there's a few fragrances in this video that contain the name black. This being one of them from Amouage, it's Interlude Black Iris. In this, we've got notes of rosemary, myrrh, vanilla, leather, and oud. Ooh, this is a dark and brooding, moody fragrance full of attitude. You've got that interlude DNA, you've got the herbal rosemary in there, and rosemary is quite a punchy herb, so you've got a punchiness which only adds to the attitude. This is smoothed out by a bit of a buttery orris note. Doesn't have quite the sharp edges of the original interlude, but I love it for that because it makes it a bit smoother and a bit more wearable. And then when you throw in leather and oud, you're only boosting the attitude even more, and then there's depth coming from myrrh. As you might deduce from those notes, this is a powerful fragrance. Pretty much everything I'm saying about this fragrance would also apply to Interlude 53, which I love equally as much. In fact, I was wearing that fragrance on a night out, and the person who was serving me at the bar, it was table service, and as I left the bar, he came up to me, he followed me, and he asked me what I was wearing because he thought it was fantastic. I remember that day I was dressed in a leather jacket, looking a little bit badass. That was the perfect style to go with that fragrance. The same would be so for Black Iris, maybe even more so with Black Iris, because I guess it is a bit blacker. Anyway, Amouage know how to bring the attitude. They definitely bring it with Black Iris. Let's keep the black name theme going for the next fragrance. This is a belter from Tom Ford in the Private line. Fantastic fragrance. Unfortunately, I only have a few samples of this, not a full bottle. This is Black Lacquer. This has dark brooding notes of ink, vinyl, black pepper, rum, ebony wood, and olibanum, which is incense. Oh yes, this packs a punch. This is bursting with attitude. One of my favorite recent Tom Ford releases. This is such a statement-making fragrance. It's a showstopper. It's inky, black, dark woods with that mysterious incense. This is pure attitude, but smoothed out by a lovely boozy rum note. There is some peony, so a little bit of floral, bit of a delicate light floral coming into this, and apricot bringing a little bit of fruitiness. So there is balance. It is overall quite a dark statement-making fragrance, but there are certain notes in here that balance it out perfectly, so it's not too dark. Unfortunately, I have to faff around with this piddly little sample in this video. If Tom Ford sent out 3 bottles, then I would have a full bottle for you, but unfortunately they don't. Private blend, new releases, a little bit pricey. Maybe down the line if I can get that discounted, but for now, we're rolling with samples. This next fragrance, unfortunately, doesn't have black in the title, but we can go one better because it's got bastard in the title. From Terence Hughes, this is Boss Bastard. Now, if that's not a name that evokes attitude, I don't know what is. It's got some sweet fruitiness up top, but then we're quickly drawn down into the darkness with tobacco, amber, cacao pods, musks, and dark woods. It has a real sweet but dark, sultry, animalistic edge to it. Don't get me wrong, it's not too dark. It does have some brightness and some sweetness, so this is a really well-balanced fragrance. Aaron did a great job with this. It kind of does what it says on the bottle. You're gonna feel like a bit of a boss when you wear this fragrance. I love it. If you want to come across as having some attitude, but just a little bit of animalistic sweetness, get in my nose, yeah. Bastard.
If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description.
Let's throw in a designer here. We're going with the newest men's release from Mugler. This is a great release. Love wearing this fragrance in the short time I've had it. A Men Fantasm. This is a spicy, dark chocolate coffee-like scent. Loads of attitude, loads of sweetness. I was so surprised by this scent. The previous release, Ultimate, was just a little bit meh, not that great, but this one, it's kind of like a rebooted Amen, so a slightly more modernized version of Amen. It's got a similar type of smell. We've got some of that coffee, definitely got that same DNA. This one has some added dark chocolate, so it is a little bit darker and a little bit sweeter at the same time, and I think it has more attitude. The sweetness is a gourmand, dessert-like sweetness, which really adds to its very mass appealing and likable nature, but the spices do bring a bit of punchy attitude. So punchy spices with that sweet dark chocolate and coffee. This is awesome. If you want a fragrance with attitude but also sweetness, something that is going to be amazing for the autumn and winter, then don't discount this. Maybe wait for it to hit discounters, but when it does, you gotta try it. A fragrance with extreme in the name is already going to be packing, but how do you give it even more attitude? Well, you make it a parfum and you bring some leather to the party. Tom Ford's Noir Extreme Parfum. It has that floral and creamy dessert-like quality that the EDP has, but in addition to all of that, this has leather, which brings a sexy bit of robust attitude. Definitely my favorite of the two. I love the EDP. It is quite light on me. It seems to stay closer to the skin. It's not got massive projection, and it does lean more into its florals rather than having the backbone that this one has. The leather here adds some robust backbone to the fragrance, which makes it even better and gives it even more attitude. If you want that Noir Extreme DNA, maybe for a daytime scent, you could go with the EDP, but if you want to wear something with a bit more attitude, something for an event or something in the evening, then definitely go with Noir Extreme Parfum. Back to black now with a dark and mysterious rose scent from Zaharoff. This is probably one of the best bottle designs I've got in my collection. This is Black Rose. Look at that bottle. It's literally got a black rose growing out of it. Black pepper, black rose, Turkish rose, oud, and frankincense. Notes that bring all the attitude. I love this scent because it plays with the idea that rose is more commonly associated with being a bit more of a feminine smell, but all the darkness in this turns that notion on its head and creates a very mysterious masculine floral scent. Full of darkness and attitude, but the rose notes in this bring enough softness to allow a little bit of charm and sensitivity to poke through. You do get badass vibes with this fragrance, but it makes sure it keeps connected to a load of playfulness and charm. The dark attitude combined with flipping that idea that rose is a more feminine leaning note is just a fantastic juxtaposition in this fragrance. It contrasts beautifully. This is packed full of attitude, which is why it's in this video. You're not going to smell many people at all wearing this, so when you do, you're going to get noticed. People will be intrigued by the mystique that surrounds you when you wear this scent. Just a heads up, I am selling this on my website, Luxe Parfum. I am the only UK retailer that is selling this, so you can buy it exclusively on my website. The link to that will be in the description. So if you've not smelled this and you're interested and you're in the UK, you know where to go. I've got so many more fragrances packed full of attitude, but I wanted to pick a few that maybe I've not talked about quite as much, and a few of my favorites, so hopefully it was a good little selection for you. What are your favorite fragrances that really make you feel like you exude attitude when you wear it? I really believe that a certain smell combined with a certain style can give off the aura of attitude, if that's the aura you want to project when you walk around. So let me know what your favorite fragrances that make you feel like that are. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, you know what to do. Hit like. No, really, hit like, or I'm bringing the attitude. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, you'll see me in the next video. Bye.